Okay, well, are we just gonna wait for him to come back then? Because he might be a while.
Well, he's gonna come back and have to rebuild his character. Like we can't do much. Like he can't pay attention and build the character or put the
Sure he
character
can.
back, like set Amber back up. I don't know. I think it's really hard to, but I guess it depends what we're doing. We can handle some of the easy stuff like buying and selling and whatnot.
Are we in a town to do that?
Yeah, we don't know what roughly everyone's equivalent wealth is about. I know he had
So yeah,
oh man, I don't
whatever
remember.
a belt of +2 strength is plus 400
He had a
gold.
headband
He had a headband that he made or something.
that he made that was half of the or half the actual cost. It's like 500 gold or something or 1,000 gold. I don't remember what the
Okay,
half was.
Tiki's gear is 5,700.
Mine could be around that.
I don't think mine is nearly that high, but maybe I
Yours
don't
actually
remember
might be
how much my
higher
overall
because
Well,
you
I
have
strength
that
picked
was.
up that headband, that
you have that
4,000.
mirror, which is actually the most powerful
Oh
magic item
well,
that the
okay, I wasn't
party
counting that
has.
stuff. And the ring of protection I have. I forgot about that.
Well, ring
Okay, never
protections are
mind.
one of the cheaper magic items. That was the first
So,
magic item you guys got, I think. So
but to be
Yeah,
fair,
I have
like,
one of those too.
okay, because like I have the mirror, I have the horn of fog, ring of protection, and that's like party stuff that just kind of went on me, or I greedily stole, is what I should say. But then like my actual character wealth is like the mithril chain shirt +1, and then whatever a fourth of our total like cool magic item loot is.
Mm,
Yeah, the headband was 2K for Mantis because it was half, or is the 4K half already?
His was 2K, but we found an alluring headband, so I was just letting you know that that 5,700 gold
Oh, we
pieces,
did? Oh, okay.
4K of
oh,
is
that's
that
what it's.
headband
Okay.
I'm wearing. So just for Pluto's
I
knowledge.
see.
yeah,
I forgot we found that. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, because the headband that Mantis' character had actually was for int, because he's actually an int-based sorcerer because of the bloodline thing that he has. Because I know he had that, so we'll just give him that, I
I'm getting
guess.
call.
That helps.
So I'll be back in a second.
Okay. And then let's see, he probably had like a ring of protection or something. I don't remember.
He
Or
had
above resistance.
he had a wand of infernal or a wand of healing.
Yeah, infernal healing, and he had I don't know how many charges he had left on that thing, but I think he
He
probably
used a
used.
decent amount of them.
I think he had 30 or so. I think I even remember him at some point saying he had 30.
Sounds about right.
And he might have used a little more since that at that point, but I'll probably just give it to him at 30. And then yeah, I don't even remember what else he would have had. He might have had some random potions or something maybe.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. Yeah, I think you had a. We were talking about it, like I'm pretty sure you had a headband that you made, and
And I
I
had
couldn't
some
remember how many
wands and some
charges.
scrolls.
I couldn't remember how many charges you had on the infernal healing wand, but I think it was like 30 or something left. Maybe less than that, but I remember at some point that you hit 30 charges left. And then
That sounds about right.
I don't even remember what the other wands you had. You probably maybe do you have a magic missile wand? Maybe I don't know.
You captured Zone A. You lost Zone C.
No, I had 2 wands of
That's gonna shame you.
invisibility.
Stream trip. Thanks, Tyson.
Oh, that had like
With
a
different
limited amount of
charges.
charges. Yeah, I might have. Let's see here. I might have those written down.
And I had 2 scrolls.
Who besides Philippe has a ring of protection? Does Alios have one?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay, you have the one that we got from the
Yeah,
on
we
the
found
ship.
it.
Okay.
I
Let's
think
see.
I have a cloak of resistance, but I'm not sure.
I think you did.
Yes, you do.
Okay, here's one. There was a wand of invisibility with 34 charges. I don't know if you guys ever
That was
used
what
that, but
Mantis had. He
that
used
was
one
one that
charge.
you guys got from the hags, I think.
Oh, what? I thought that was what we got from the guy in the cave.
There was another one that had even less charges, I think, from the cave.
Okay.
I think it was like 20. So
Yeah.
it was like 22 charges or something.
Yeah, so you guys have those two wands of invisibility. I'll say 22 charges. That sounds fine. I could go back and try to find it in the video, but I don't think it's worth it. um, yeah, you would probably have this scroll of haste. I don't think we ever used that. And a scroll of teleport, lesser teleport. Or like, yeah, whatever. It was normal teleport, but my point is it wasn't greater teleport. It was just normal teleport. And then whatever mundane stuff you had, I guess.
What's our average wealth? Like, just in gold pieces.
I have no fucking
Hard to
clue
say,
because
we have magic items
most
spread out.
people aren't
How much
using.
is a belt of +2 strength? Was that 2,000 or 4,000? That was 2,000, right?
I think it's 4,000 is its value though. You got it cheaper through item creation feats.
Right. All right.
I mean, just our gold. What do we have in our inventory?
Oh, money?
Yeah.
I have 400 gold.
I was gonna say, I think I had about 500 gold.
Because that horse took a chunk of money out of me.
So, just a heads up, my dad's actually having surgery tomorrow, so he might be like Skyping me in a little bit to just like talk or whatever.
Okay.
He's having heart surgery, so it's not like a huge deal, but it is, heart surgery. So
Yeah.
if that happens, I'll just let you know, and I'll be muted or whatever for it probably won't be more than like 10 minutes, honestly. Him and I are not like very sentimental or whatever. And he just called me in case, they don't get the Skype thing figured out, which I don't know what there is to figure out, but whatever.
Okay. I think we at least have enough to go with for just setting up Mantis's equipment there, I guess. He's got to do his level ups too, though. I can redo them, I guess. So you guys had just left the cave.
And we're level 4, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Almost
and you guys are
5.
like 500 experience away or something from level 5.
Yep.
And you guys are fairly close to Yanderhof at this point. But yeah, if we want to get passive perceptions and somebody roll a d100.
Oh, this
Get
perception is one of those fake ones you throw at us. I know your tricks.
Maybe. Well, except I'm also making you roll a d100, so.
Yeah.
It's one of those
What did
ones
I
where
do?
it might be a perception roll that matters, and it might not.
I didn't think that there was an animation for D100, but now it looks like there's a 10-sided die and a 20-sided die two 10-sided
It'd be
dice.
two 10-sided dice. That's how you do
Yeah.
a d100 normally.
Mantis, for your languages, I'm pretty sure you spoke Draconic, and we talked in Abyssal together, I think, too, if you don't remember your languages. I think there were maybe a couple other ones we had in common.
That's my perception.
You guys had some conversations in common. I'm surprised.
Did I say common?
I have most of my languages still on my sheet.
It was
Well,
it was a
that's not
pun.
true. I have about half of them.
One of these
You were
days,
talking about
I'll make a
conversation you had all
character
these different
with no common.
languages, and then you said, "I think we had a few other ones in common."
Oh my god, I didn't catch that. Okay.
Sigurd did that to us. She had a character that only spoke like Draconic and Undercommon, so only my character could speak to her first.
Sick.
It was kind of funny because she did the Draconic first, and I was the only one that understood. And then she's like, "Well, try this other language," and then I was like, "No, that's still just I'm the only one that understands that one too."
Nice.
How do I change the speed of experience?
In Hero Lab, you go to Configure
Fast.
Hero.
I found it.
Okay.
I got it.
Alrighty.
Okay, so as you're going on the road towards Yanderhof, you see ahead of you, you see some wagons.
Are they moving?
Yep, they're moving the same direction as you, at a slower pace than you guys are. So you guys are starting to catch up to them.
Okay. I will just mind my own business, but I suppose roll a perception while we approach.
Yeah, do I notice anything weird or out of the ordinary?
Nope.
You do not notice anything like too unexpected. They're like most of the people like driving the wagon, like they're just being pulled by horses, and the people driving the wagons are dwarves. You can't really see what they're carrying because they have everything in the wagons are all covered up, but they have blankets over the top of the wagons, basically.
Do they look friendly?
They kind of been like, as you guys get a little closer, they're kind of looking over, and they look like they're looking over you guys kind of nervously as you guys are getting closer to them. Like they're tensing up a little bit, maybe.
I'll say in Dwarven, hail friends. How goes it? We're on our way to Jaegerville. What is it? Yanderhof.
Yanderhof.
Are you guys on the same route?
And they mostly seem like they're trying to ignore you, but one of them does. Like, I know you guys like ride up to him, or are you yelling at him, yelling to him this? Like, how far away are you as you're doing this?
I mean, probably like at the point where they're like looking at us, more than a little bit.
Okay.
Wherever that's at. Like when it gets awkward, it's like I need to say something. That's the point.
So when you once you guys are kind of caught up to him.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So yeah, one of the guys near the back. There's 3 wagons, and the guy at the very back wagon, actually, he looks back and he'll. Oh, excuse me. He'll say, yeah, we are also heading to Yanderhof, bringing in a shipment of foods coming from Hars.
Sense motive. on whether or not he's telling the truth.
Okay.
Was that 27?
You think that he probably is telling the truth. That probably is what he has underneath the blankets.
Alright. I'll say, awesome. Well, mind if we pass you by here? We're actually on a tight schedule.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Awesome. See you guys later. Peace out. I don't know how people say bye in the olden days, but translate that into, this world.
Okay. Philippe says that in the equivalent dwarven phrase. And yep, you guys ride through. They still seem kind of nervous about you as you walk past, seeing these armed travelers riding past them on the road. But and yeah, you see there's like there was just one in the back, and the other two had two dwarves each, like sitting on them. So there's 5 dwarves total there. And you Philippe had a really high perception roll there, so he would notice that that like they're all armed, but they have like their weapons kind of hidden, like under their cloaks, and or like they have like one of them has like an axe hidden on kind of like behind him on the like on the wagon itself. So like they're armed, but they're kind of like not openly showing that they're armed.
Okay. I'm not doing anything threatening at all is my plan.
Okay.
Does anyone else have anything?
Nope.
No.
Okay. And you ride past them and continue on towards Yanderhof.
I will say to the party, don't you think it's, after we're past, don't you think it's strange that they were all armed? Is this a dangerous road?
Bandits? I guess, maybe? I don't know. Tiki's
guess.
not from here.
Nor am I.
Oh. Well. Should we hold our weapons out too?
So, on the list of
Oh wait. Yeah, never mind.
Hero Lab crafting, do you think craft sculpture is the closest thing to doll?
Oh, you can just do craft other and then just
say
type
craft
in whatever
all,
you
like-
want.
And just type it in too. Yeah.
Doesn't
Oh, I
matter,
see.
right?
You can do that for
There we
your
go.
professions and all that stuff as well.
Oh man, I missed the opportunity. I could have been like, what dwarves you think were springing an attack on you?
Yeah, I didn't know if you guys were gonna do anything with those dwarves or not, but they were there.
I mean, what are we supposed to do? Like, raid them or something? We're not evil.
Yeah, you could have. There's a few other things that you could have potentially done, but it's fine.
We
Don't
could
worry about it.
always
Talk to them.
become evil.
You
No,
guys,
too
True.
dramatic? Okay.
you guys weren't actually too far from Yanderhof because you went to that to the mine, so you actually ended up getting there in the afternoon, like fairly early afternoon, and yeah. So yeah, you're at Yanderhof. So I'll describe kind of what Yanderhof looks like. I don't really have I might be able to find a picture of it actually. I don't think I really found one I liked when I looked earlier though. But yeah, it's a Yanderhof is one of the old sky citadels So it's basically a castle carved into the mountain. And you guys have been following kind of at the foothills of the Mindspin Mountains for quite some time now. And yep, this is just inside, like kind of carved onto the side of one of the, and it's like you kind of come around a one like another mountain that's kind of nearby it, and or like kind of come around a cliff, and like all of a sudden you see it, and it's kind of just like this maybe breathtaking sight of this ancient castle just standing like carved out, sticking out of the mountains, and
Like
there's
Minas
like
Tirith?
yeah, kind of like that. Only like not in an open plain like that, because there's lots of other mountains around it too. But
Okay.
and of course, as you guys are getting closer to it, there's like a lot more traffic. You see some smaller like buildings kind of outside of it too. Um, yeah, roll a perception check.
What city is this that we're coming up to?
This is the city of Yanderhof.
Yanderhof.
Yeah, we're all covering the name.
Her eyes are all sparkling as she's looking at it, all the people. She's like, ah, people.
She can see. Can she see it?
No, just when she passes by people,
Oh, okay.
she
I
might
see.
recognize that all of a sudden people.
Yep. Very frequent.
So, Ron, does your character have the language Shoanti, by the way?
It sounds familiar, but no.
Okay, just curious. Because that would be like your character is Shoanti, right? Which is like the um, kind of nomadic people in Varisia.
Right.
So, but I guess if your character doesn't know the language, it could just be because like you're like most of the Shoanti live near the in the Storable Plateau, basically. Like um, so what I'm gonna say is you would actually, like you guys are going in there, you see there's some humans there that are speaking what you recognize as Shoanti, because even though you don't speak it yourself, you've probably heard it because like maybe your parents speak it or something.
Right.
So you can see like a lot of the humans you see in this area, like most of what you guys see are dwarves here. But
Okay.
and there's like some other humans that aren't Shoanti, but most of the humans you see here are Shoanti.
So they all seem to have like tribal markings and similar nomadic kind of feel.
Yeah, like they don't necessarily have the same, like they don't all necessarily have tribal markings or anything like that, but a lot of them would have um, different ones than Alias has. But
Okay.
Lots of people wearing mithril.
not really. Mithril is still really expensive.
True.
Um,
Okay.
and you guys actually are. This is on the outskirts of it too. So you would assume that you may, if you would see lots of people wearing mithril, that might be as you get further within Yanderof.
Okay.
Fun.
So
Why are we here? Just to shop or? 'Cause
this is
No,
just
we're
on the way
going
to Kaer
through
Maga.
here to Kaer Maga.
So as you guys maybe before you actually get to like the walls of the citadel itself of Yanderhof, like proper, you would come to you would see a spot that's like obviously an inn that there is a lot of people at. that's outside of it.
Like a gathering.
And and there's like kind of a line to actually get into the citadel. Like if you have knowledge, say if you have knowledge local or something else that might be relevant to knowing about Neanderhoff, I guess let me know. But knowledge local will work for this. You could know more about this area here, what's going on, but
I has no
Yes.
idea.
Oh God. Oh
Nor do
God.
you.
yeah, you don't know anything about Neanderhoff.
I've never actually been here though, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, there's quite a lot of people, like a lot of wagons and stuff set up there. When you guys get up there, like up towards where like the bottleneck seems to be, um, somebody like a stable boy kind of comes up and asks like if you'd like him to take your horses if you're staying.
It looks pretty busy. What's going on here? Do you have room?
It's like, oh, lots of travelers coming to trade, but you have to go through customs first.
Oh, I see. Is that customary?
Yes.
I see, okay. Well, do not take our horses yet, for we do not know where we are going to stay.
And he just nods and runs off to some other group of travelers.
Okay.
I guess we're just passing by then.
Well,
Yeah,
if
so
you guys want to stay here, it
the
looks
name
super busy.
the name of the tavern here is called the Old Bear's Rest. Just in case you were curious, and has a sign of a basically looking like the silhouette of a bear, and then has those words carved into it.
Ooh, fun.
What does the condition of the tavern look like?
That's what I wanted to ask, yeah.
It looks very nice, actually. Like it's
Dang it. I was hoping it was
you can
awful and I could
probably
say it's unbearable.
you can
Oh
probably
dear.
like you can kind of it would make sense too because you see how many people are here, and it makes sense that this place probably makes quite a lot of money.
Alright, let's see if they
I
have
guess
room.
on the other hand,
If they have room
it
for
could
us.
have low quality, and then they could have just been pocketing all the money. But you can kind of gather that this place actually has reinvested a lot of wealth that it gets from people coming through this area.
Would I have heard about this place from somewhere else? This bar, is it famous?
Um, you'd have to have like a knowledge local to know that.
Or
Yeah, you
perhaps
don't know.
knowledge nobility if it's a well-known place by the nobles.
Yeah, you're not sure if this place is particularly well known or anything, but so I guess from your perspective, no, but
Okay.
It
you
seems
realize that
busy.
part of it is, yeah, you realize that part of it's that you haven't really been here before.
Well, let's go in and check it out. Does someone want to stay? I mean, we can just go see if they have rooms, and if so, we'll get that stable boy to take our horses.
And it's a pretty good sized place too. Like it's got it's like 4 stories tall. It's pretty wide there. It's kind of set up right near the entrance to the walls of Neanderhof.
Is there a place for us to tie up our horses out here just for like a temporary visit or something like that?
Uh, it I mean, you can do like a perception check to try to find something like that.
Okay.
Because it's very, like I said, it's really busy, so it'd be tough to.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
A lot of places already taken, but you scan around and you do find a spot that is not being taken. That would be a good place, kind of between some buildings, a couple buildings down.
Alright, I'll say let's tie our horses up over there and see if this place has room. It looks busy, so it's probably pretty nice. Sound good to you guys?
Busy
You wanna
equals
look somewhere
nice.
else? It looks nice and it's busy.
Okay. I wouldn't know.
Alright, so I guess let's do that unless someone opposes. Doesn't hurt to ask.
Okay, so you guys do that then.
I guess so.
All right, following Philippe's lead, you guys all walk into the Old Bear's Rest.
Okay, and we look in and what's going on? Is it like hectic, crazy busy? People dressed nice?
It's actually, well, it's mostly travelers. It's well lit and it's very loud and pretty cramped. But
Tiki holds on to an article of clothing that Philippe's wearing just so she doesn't lose them. She's so small.
okay.
My traveling cloak.
Sure, she's
Uh,
holding on to it tight like a kid.
You'd say at least half, maybe more, are dwarves. But there's a lot of other races represented, like mostly humans and dwarves. But yeah, it's a fairly diverse crowd, especially considering how close you are to Yanderhof.
Can I figure out who is the person in charge of, renting out rooms? Innkeeper.
Yeah, you could probably assume it's the person um, behind one of the counters there.
Alright, so I'll get in line if there's a line or walk up if there's not, whatever.
Okay. So yeah, you find the one of the guy, like there's a you find him, and he says, "Yeah, we still have several rooms available, as well as a
Okay,
common area that we allow people to sleep in for much cheaper." Um,
is it human or dwarf or some other race?
this is a human that you're
Alright,
talking
so
to.
I'm
It's a
just talking
human. It's a
common then.
human guy. Hmm.
Okay, so I'll say, how much is uh, 3 rooms? How many people do we have? 2 rooms? 2 rooms.
It's a
How much
4
is 2
people.
rooms?
I don't. I can share a room with somebody. I'm so small.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
he
thinking
says.
girls can stay in one and guys in another.
He's saying the room, if you want your own own separate rooms, they're 1 gold piece each. In the
Do
common
you have
room,
rooms for more than one? Or are they all single person rooms?
well, they're single bedrooms.
Okay. We'll take 4 and I hand them 4 gold pieces.
All right, very good. And whose name should I be writing here in the guest's book? Or I guess he'll hand you, or you can write them yourself.
Sure. And
He
does he hand
slides
it to me
the
or does
book
he
over.
ask? Okay. I'll write it.
Yeah, he asks who he says who, he actually says he says whose name should I write, or would you prefer to write them yourselves? And he kind of looks towards you expectantly, basically.
Okay, I'll just say Amber, Philippe, Alias, and Tiki. And I'll spell them if he needs, but yeah. I won't lie.
Yeah, I mean, he just writes them down and doesn't even ask because he figures even if he misspells, it doesn't matter because it's just for his own bookkeeping.
Yep.
And he fishes in, he fishes under his desk and pulls out 4 keys with that have numbers carved into them.
Okay.
He says those numbers will be your rooms. The first number is the floor, and the second number is the will be your room number. It starts with
Okay.
the low numbers up to high numbers.
Are we on floor 0 or 1 right now?
Good question. Well, I'm gonna say this is floor 1, but
Okay. It depends if English and like England and America do it differently.
yeah, I know.
A
They
common
do it
problem.
wrong. They do it wrong over there.
Yeah.
uh,
We say 1 is ground floor, they say ground floor then 1.
yeah,
I mean,
I know.
floor 0 to me is like basement or, you know.
There's just no such thing as floor 0 to me.
Well, I mean, I guess we call it basement, but if somebody told me floor 0, I'd be like, the basement?
Yep. Okay.
Did
Well,
I
think
have goblin guys?
Oh, did you?
You might have had Goblin, I don't know.
I think I might have taken it after we lost Caffeine's character.
Shit, I forgot caffeine played.
He was here for the first, 2 sessions, maybe.
Whatever, I'll take
Mm.
goblin. And I will take infernal. I don't remember what they were. I have a lot of languages. Is my character done? I still need my equipment.
So, you notice let's see, let's do like a random number generator for what your room numbers will be.
Oh boy. Just roll a
Actually, I
D
could just
instead of
roll a
E8.
dice.
Yeah. Just don't get 2 of the same roll. That would be awkward.
You guys are rooms, you're all on the same floor, which is the 3rd floor. And you guys are room numbers 6, 5, 13, and 10.
Okay. I'll take the unlucky 13. Although I
And they're
don't know if
kind of,
anything's unlucky in this universe.
there's 14 of them total rooms, and they're kind of oriented such that, the low numbers are closer to the stairs. So 5 and 6 are across the hallway from each other. 10 and 13 would be cross, but a few doors away as well from each other. 13 would be at the very end, be like a corner room.
Sure.
So yeah, you guys can decide where you guys want to be, who wants what room.
I'll take
5.
13 if someone else wants it.
There are
And
2
then,
5s.
so what else? Yeah, it's I
5, 6, 13,
re-rolled.
10.
That's why I rolled 5 dice, because I rolled a 5 twice, so I just re-rolled it, basically.
Okay.
Alright.
I guess
take
I'll
room
go in 10.
Oh, I'll
Or
take
I'll
6
go
then.
in 6.
Awkward. Oh my god.
Stoic man first.
10.
Okay. I'll go in 6.
Good, the
Alright,
kids
so
can be near each other and we'll be by each other.
alright then. What else you guys want to do then?
Well, it's only, what, afternoon?
It's afternoon, yeah.
I say we go hunting for a quest. Because I don't have enough money to buy anything and I want something new and shiny.
Aren't we
Oh,
supposed to
okay.
be going to Kaer Maga? There's lots of shiny things there, I heard.
Oh, well, how about we go get drinks and nice dinner, and then more drinks. What do you want to do? What do you guys want to do?
Sleep and travel?
I guess
But we
I'll
have the
make my
entire
own
afternoon
mana
and
infernal
evening.
healing.
Why are we stopping so early anyways, then? Oh, Philippe,
We're
what have
going
you dragged
down
us
to the
into?
city. We're at one of the 8 wonders of the Pathfinder world.
And you can
Kind of.
come back.
It is one of the few remaining sky citadels that hasn't been like either destroyed or taken over by orcs or what have you. There are a few
There's
other
also
interesting things about this place too. If you guys have knowledge history or knowledge local, might know about it.
What if I have
I
both of
have
those?
Or knowledge
Am I allowed to roll
geography.
knowledge local again?
Yes, because they're a different thing. Whichever one of those three that
Can
you
I
want
roll
to
all
roll.
those, or just one
No,
of
just
them?
one. Just one.
They're all the same though.
It's kind of just an interesting thing though, like about. Um. Okay, I'm gonna just assume you guys are all gonna make this check then. Yep.
30.
Okay, so you guys all are aware, except for maybe Tiki, that one of the interesting things about Yanderhof and about most Sky Citadels in general, actually, is that there is actually an entrance here to the Darklands, aka the Pathfinder Underdark, in Yanderhof. It is closely guarded.
Out of character,
Because
what is that?
it's the Underdark. It's a spooky underground cavern that goes like cavern or cave system that runs through basically underneath the entire world of Galarian, and lots of icky things live down there. There's like basically a whole other world underneath Galarian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay!
Legend has it that the dwarves um, and the orcs both came from the Underdark originally. All right, so what you guys just gonna hang out here then, or are you guys gonna go exploring Yanderhof? You gonna go
I
buy
want to go
anything?
explore.
Uh, I,
I'm an investigator.
I'll go out with them and explore if they want to explore. It seems like there are things to be learned here.
yep.
Or things to be earned. Says Philippe. I'm back on the greedy character.
I know you are.
Okay. What do you guys want to do in particular for exploring? You guys want to try to go into past the wall?
Yeah, can we go like up in like into the citadel or like into the city, past the walls, and then like up into the citadel and get an amazing view? That's what I would want to do in real life.
You might be able to. It's like I said, there's a long line to get in though.
Uh, crap. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to wait in that long line for customs or whatever?
Tiki's just like, I don't even want to be here.
She didn't want to be at the cave with the Spriggans. She didn't want to be at the other
other
cave.
No caves this time, I promise, Tiki. I'm asking you guys, what do you guys want to do?
Yeah, no, this session is kind of a like you guys get to decide what to do. I don't really have a
This session is I'm silent and I'm sort of trying to listen
making
as
your
best I
character.
can while I'm
Yeah.
remaking my character.
Okay.
I do a thing that could just happen if nobody does anything. That might be kind of fun, but we'll see. I'm giving you guys chances to to have some agency as well, you know.
Alias, your people are from here. What do you want? What's good to do around here? What's your culture known for? Is Ron muted or?
He said
He said
BRB.
BRB in chat, so I think
Oh, I didn't see that.
yeah.
I wasn't at my computer. I was walking around.
Well, my understanding is Ron's character actually isn't like his character grew up more on the closer to Magnamar, so his character, even though like his family may have originally been from over here, he hasn't. He doesn't even speak Shoanti, like the language.
Okay,
He's more
guys, let's
removed
sneak
from.
into the city. Forget this line. What do you think of that? We have an invisibility wand. We can get in.
No thanks.
Well,
You have 2 invisibility wands at that.
That is true.
how long do I think the line's going to be to get in?
Let's see, what check would be good to be able to know that.
I mean,
Right.
just observe it for a while and see how fast it's pacing.
Yeah, if you wanted to go out and try to look at it, you could use perception or sense motive to try to either sense motive would be like a little bit quicker. You'd go out and then kind of I don't know. You could also just ask people with a diplomacy roll. That would do it. Like
Screw it. I'm gonna go get in line and then ask whoever's in line, and be like,
How
"Hey,
long the
how long
line
do you think
is?"
this is gonna take?" Yeah.
Okay.
How long do you think it's gonna be till we get up there? You know, just like make it.
Does anybody go with Philippe, or is he just gonna go and wait in line by himself?
We're following him.
Okay.
Would you call this a diplomacy roll to gather information for an investigation?
I mean, it's a bit of a stretch to say for an investigation, but it is to gather information, so sure.
I won't. Well, okay, then I get to add a d6.
He's investigating
Yeah, I
how
think.
long this line's gonna take. Huh?
Yeah. That's what I was
got
saying. It's a
bad
bit of
roll
a
anyway.
stretch, but
Words,
I don't even know if
man.
that's the right roll, but yeah, so that's probably bad. Second,
yeah,
I'll
but it's
look
a
it
really
up.
low. It's a really low DC because it's not like you're just asking how long the line normally will take. He's like, oh, usually it only takes a couple hours. When you get closer up, they start funneling out people that don't have carts or wagons to search to like as well because there's less stuff to look through.
And I'll say, is there any way to speed up the process? And when I say way, I like jingle my money pouch that's like under my cloak.
Definitely don't try that. Dwarves are very stuffy about that sort of thing. The guy you're
see.
asking is a human.
I see. Thanks for the information.
We have horses, right?
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
a pony.
Yes.
Are you bringing them with
They're
you, or are they still? Or
Tied
did
up
you guys?
by the building. Did we ever give them to the stable boy? Can we do that?
Nobody said they did, but you could go do that.
Let's
I'm
do
just
that.
Alias brings
adding
his
it
horse
to my
wherever he
character
goes.
sheet.
And they won't even since you guys paid the full gold piece for the room, they don't actually charge you even to do that. It's included.
Cool.
Okay. Cool.
If you guys had the the stable boy would specify these. Like, so you guys had the common room for which only costs a silver piece. You would have had to pay 5 coppers to house your horses here, but
Oh crap, I did mess up. So that should have been, so not that matters, but the diplomacy roll should have been my int modifier instead of my charisma modifier because it is to gather information and it doesn't need to be about an investigation.
no,
That
okay.
was something else. And then the d6 is the free inspiration die I get on diplomacy rolls from, I think, my investigator talent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's accurate. So anyways, it should be a little bit higher, but I just need
All
to
right.
remember. Otherwise, I don't
I
get it.
guess while you guys are waiting in line, perception check from everyone.
I know how to do that. Not very well, but only 60 feet in front of me, but I can do it. I can hear really well.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I get
I got a 40,
spidey
but
senses.
still.
No, I don't know. Depends on what it is. Did I just throw away a 20? Maybe. I know it doesn't work that way.
Maybe.
It's fun to think it works that
Um,
way, though.
while you guys are waiting in line, you guys have, and if you after you've been there for about half an hour, you kind of notice something catches your eye, mostly because of what you've recently dealt with, which is you notice a priest of Desna walking into the inn. You guys kind of notice. You
I'm
kind
gonna
of
go talk
notice
to
him
her.
as he actually in this case, as he goes into the into the inn.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
just
being an
look up
ass
that'll.
and assuming her gender, so I'm gonna go talk to her.
Okay.
I think I will go with you. I don't care about this line as much as that. This is much more
So
interesting.
does everybody just go and be like, "Whoa, priest of Desna," except for Aelios, who didn't even roll a perception? Okay.
Yeah,
Um.
I'll be back in a little bit, and I race after Amber.
Okay, and then you guys leave it to Aelios and Tiki to hold your place in line.
We split the party, yes.
Okay. Um. So yeah, you go into the tavern then, and I'm guessing you look around to try to find the priest you saw, and you see him basically at the counter there talking to the innkeeper. Now you approach him.
Yeah. I'll wait for him to finish talking to the innkeeper, and then I'll approach him.
And I'm just like
Okay.
a half step behind Amber, just following Amber's lead, because I'm usually not great in these situations.
And then I'll approach the priest of Desna and say, whenever he's finished with talking to the receptionist at the inn,
Okay.
and I'd ask him if I could have his counsel.
He he nods and kind of motions you over to follow him. And he kind of goes over into like a booth, like an unoccupied booth, kind of off to the side of the really loud um, uh, like diner area, basically.
Okay.
So it's still pretty loud, but it's a little bit quieter because you're off in this corner, and there's more like there's a it's kind of walled off a little bit more. And so he says, "What can I do for you today?"
So we stumbled upon a what I would call an archaeological find in a mine nearby that was related to the deity that you follow. And I will pull out both my symbol of, what's his name? Kirkotness?
Kirkanis.
Okay, yeah, the
And
one you guys got from the priests, the bodies. That,
yeah,
yep.
the one that we got from the bodies, and I will produce my journal with the drawings of Kirkanis and the drawings of Kirkanis meeting with Desna.
So he looks at it, doesn't say anything for a little while. Says these are very ancient relics of the deity Kirkanis.
And I'll say that we also encountered earlier on our journey somebody who tried to assassinate us who was holding this symbol, and I pull out the symbol of Daklaus Sar.
And you can see his face kind of darkens as when he looks at that. He says, I recognize this one as well.
Okay, and I'm sure you know the connection between this ancient deity Karkanis and this demon lord Daklaus Sar.
Indeed, I do. It's a terribly tragic tale known by most within my priesthood.
Okay, so in this archaeological find, I'll refer him back to my journal. I believe that this statue is an artifact of some kind. Would you happen to have any information on what the nature of this artifact might be?
He kind of looks at he kind of tries to pull the journal over, turn it around, pull it closer to him so he can look at it a little better.
Oh, I would have been showing him where it was facing him, and I'll let him do that.
Okay. But he, after looking at it for maybe 20 or 30 seconds, he kind of sighs and says, I'm not really sure what to make of this."
Well, let me tell you, when I touched it, it took me to Deklausar. I was face to face with him.
Oh, right. I have charisma and int damage. No, not int. Charisma and wisdom damage.
Yeah. 3 or something, or 4 of it, right?
I think I have 4.
And I'll say
I completely forgot about that. That might have impacted how I spoke to this person, but whatever. I'll do it from now on.
Okay. I'm not worried about it. And that's troubling news. We haven't heard of anything really happening with the Clawsar in a long time. He's been, as far as we've known, dormant for years. Centuries, even.
Oh, he wasn't dormant. I saw him in, what was it called, the Valley place in the Abyss, and where he's known to be. And he was very much not dormant.
I had a name for that place he was in.
The Zorian Mountains in Lamashtu's realm of Carnugia. And I will say that as Philippe mentions it.
Where did you find this? He asks.
Is he referring to the
In a
artifact?
mine that.
Yes, but where? Where
Yeah.
was this mine?
Not too far from here.
Sounds very dangerous. What did you do with it?
Uh, we couldn't do anything with it. I tried not to use it except to maybe identify exactly what it was, and that's when I also was taken and confronted with Daklausar.
Right now, our dwarf friend who owns the mine is making sure no one goes near the artifact, but, you know, it's only a matter of time before someone wanders in and does something bad.
Where is ability damage on uh, Hero Lab? Is that in play, perhaps?
It would be in adjust, I believe. It might be in play. No, it's in adjust. And you would do either ability adjustments or other adjustments. I don't remember which. So other adjustments.
Ability score damage. Remember to add 2.
It has rogue unchained sneak attack penalties too.
Does he seem kind of worried that we're just like, yeah, it's just out there in a mine with some dwarves kind
He
of
seemed
tugging
worried
probably.
ever since you produced the symbol of Daklar Sar.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there
Let
anything
me
you can do to
save
help
this.
us? Or do you know who can help us?
Uh, it'll take some time. Will you be here long?
We are planning to go to Maga.
Kaer Maga. Yeah.
What about
Probably
tomorrow?
pass back through this way.
Will you at least be here tomorrow?
Yes.
Alright, I have people I must consult with. But I would like to speak with you about this matter again tomorrow, if you would be so kind.
Yeah, of course. We appreciate any and all help you can offer.
Alright, so he stands up and reaches a hand out to shake your hand.
Where will we meet you? Now, I'll reach my hand and shake too, but where will we meet you or find you tomorrow?
He tells you that he is staying in room 303.
I love that group.
And you can he says you can come find me there if I'm not down here tomorrow morning.
Okay.
He says, my name is Martin, by the way.
Greetings, Martin. My name is Amber.
There will be a couple more joining us tomorrow, but they were there as well and they witnessed this powerful device.
Oh, of course. Hopefully we'll have some more answers for you tomorrow.
Okay. Sense motive on if he seems legit and wanting to help us. Is like maybe
Okay.
he's actually a servant of Daklaus Sar in disguise is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
It's possible.
Yeah, you think he seems legitimately troubled about what you told him.
Okay.
You could
And
maybe
that
do a I don't know.
you do think that he's telling you the truth. You
Okay.
don't sense any deceit in anything he's said.
He gave my journal back, right?
Yes.
I'm guessing he plans to commune with his deity.
All right. I'm guessing you guys go back out and find your spot in line that Tiki and Alias were holding for you.
Yeah.
Yes, and very loudly, I say thank you so much for holding our place in line, so that the people around us know, like, that
You're
we're
not
just
cutting. Yeah.
And
And
hopefully
you've
there's
seen
like
like
one
some
or two
other
people
people.
behind us who knew us. Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen some other people doing similar sorts of things where like especially when it involves like some of the caravan like wagons and stuff, you'll be like one person there and you'll see someone else or a group of other people come out and get on the wagon or something like that.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, after about another half hour or so, you guys finally get to a spot where like there's a dwarf there, and he sees you, that you guys are just four people on foot. You don't have like a wagon or anything like that, and he says, "This way, please," and directs you to a to the like left, whereas on the right you can
Where
see
does
it's
this
all
go to
wagons.
again?
Inside
This goes into
walls.
the actual walls of Neanderhof.
Oh, okay. So we were just
So,
outside of Vanderhof before.
yep,
We're
yeah,
outside
you
the
guys were pretty
walls,
much
yeah.
right outside the walls. So this is basically what you guys are at right here. This tavern is and this inn. This is like where people come, and like this is the last place they can stop at before they actually go into the walls of Yanderhof. And there's this long line, especially for traders, because they don't want people smuggling illegal goods in and stuff.
What are
And
illegal goods, do we know?
it'd be things like smuggling in like drugs maybe, or smuggling in
So it's not
like
like
just
weapons
danger.
or things like that.
Probably
Could,
smuggling out mithril.
it could be smuggling out mithril is definitely something that would especially
Okay.
raw mithril. So they have a similar sort of thing for coming out, but yeah. But yeah, you guys get into a different line basically that doesn't have it's moving a little bit quicker because it doesn't have any wagons, and within another 10 minutes or so you guys are in like kind of through the line, and you guys walk under the gate of this wall and are now inside the walls. So you see like this ancient dwarven architecture. And it's even more impressive inside than it was outside in some ways. Standing kind of like there's stairs leading up towards like like the citadel, like a giant citadel basically in the mountains there, and along the way there's a big statue of a dwarven-looking figure towering above um, the stairs basically.
Does he have a crown on his
If
head?
you have knowledge religion, you would know who it is. Or you might be
I
able to
just need it. I
guess.
need to roll it.
Yeah. If you have it, I think, so you probably, and your bonus is probably high enough, you're just gonna know.
My
I'm
bonus
guessing,
is
'cause-
14.
Yeah,
I mean,
you'll just
13,
know it.
sorry.
You just know that this is obviously a statue of Torag, who is the head deity of the dwarves. I mean, they have their whole pantheon basically, which is mostly like Torag and like his relatives. But so yeah, and there's like a impressive looking building there, partway up, like partway on the way towards the citadel. That is, you can tell is a church of Torag. And then there's also a lot of other buildings as well there. Um, but yeah, like I said, there's also you could walk up to the citadel itself at the top of the mountain. Of this particular mountain, at least. There's other taller mountains behind it, but
Is there any library in the city?
there might be.
Do I know that? I put a point into knowledge local.
Or can we ask around?
You would know that the library of there's a library in the Church of Torag. Other than that, though, there's not like a large publicly accessible library. Apart from like the one at the church, there might
What's
be some
Torag's
private
alignment?
collections.
Is it LG or LN?
It's lawful good.
Okay. I'll say that I would like to go to the library here.
Okay.
Sure, this temple is fascinating and beautiful, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's the second most impressive building here, basically, apart from the citadel itself.
Yeah.
And the citadel,
You
of course,
guys
is
can
like
feel
this-
free to enjoy the sights while I delve my face smack first into books. I know that doesn't suit all of you.
Seeing this
Just
temple
imagine-
is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Imagine Tiki doing like the thing from Last Airbender where she was like, it's like I've tried books and I gotta say they don't really do anything for me. It's because it's the blind character, Toph. Like they're getting all indignant about her being like, I don't really care for books.
Braille books, man, Braille.
Right. Even though Tiki can't really take in the sights actually, but there's probably interesting stuff going on around her though still. 'Cause, yeah, there's a lot of it's a fairly busy city. There's like a lot of trade going on here and a lot of people moving around. Hmm.
So, I'll go into the Temple of Torag.
Okay. Um,
What was the Desna priest's name again?
it was Martin Brooks. Yeah, I don't think he said Brooks, but that's his full name. He's a older looking priest of Desna. With well, not terribly old. He looks like probably middle aged or something.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll go into the Temple of Torag and I will try to ask one of the people if there's any chance I can use their library facilities.
Let's see. Okay, when you get into the priest or the temple of Torag, well, you can also see it's not just a temple for Torag. It's also a temple dedicated to the other dwarven deities. Um, so, like some of the other statues you would see would be let's see here. Like there'd be Torag. Torag's wife basically is one of the deities. He has like his brother is one of them. Yeah, so there's probably about like 12, 10 or 12 statues or so of like different dwarves standing around there. And anyway, one of the priests you find there says, of course, but we would humbly request that if you can afford it, a small donation for
Offering.
access to the library.
Sure. What is the average donation?
Whatever is within your means to pay.
I'll give 10 gold.
Okay. Thank you for your kind donation. For this way, please. And this dwarven priest leads you to a fairly sizable library. Like he leads you kind of down some stairs into basement and yeah, a decent sized library.
If I want to just deduct random coinage, is that in journal?
Yes, is in journal.
Can I deduct negative coinage?
Yep. Type in -10 or whatever into gold pieces, and it'll deduct 10 gold pieces.
And if there is a librarian, I will go to her or him or her, and I will ask to see books about ancient deities, and if possible, any involving Carcaucus. Carcanus, sorry.
All right. So he will kind of lead you over to a section and say this is probably the section over here would be where we'd keep books about ancient deities. I'm not sure if we'll have what you're looking for though.
Okay. I will spend time looking through the table of contents and indexes of any books that are related to... Specifically, I'll start with books that are related to Desna, and if not, I'll just go through the section as quick as possible, and, you know, probably I'll be spending hours here.
Okay. What is everybody else doing while he's doing this? Like, are you guys gonna go to the library too? Are you guys gonna go do something else?
I want to help look for Carcanus.
So you go to the library too then?
I've been part of much research in my past, so I think I may be of some help.
Okay. If you go with Amber, for example, then you don't necessarily have to pay a donation as well because Amber already paid it. But I guess that's up to you. Then did you also offer a donation when you did it?
Yeah. I put in 5 gold.
Okay. And then what do Tiki and Alios do then?
I go with Philippe.
So you guys all just start hanging out in the library then. All right.
And I don't care if they're written in Dwarven because I understand Dwarven.
Yes,
Perfect.
Same. I got, or if it's Celestial, I got Celestial too.
Okay. Most of the books here would be written in Dwarven.
Is there a role we need to do here, or what's the...
I'll get to that in a second. So what do Alias and Tiki gonna do in the library then? Are they gonna help, like, try to do research too, or they don't seem the research type?
Alias just doesn't want to be left alone in a city he's unfamiliar with.
Well, it could just be you, Alios, and Tiki going on an adventure in the city streets.
Yeah, that's what I'll say. Is why don't you guys go out and explore a bit, and let us know what you find.
Amber's like, books? Okay, I'm going. I have 4 charisma. I don't care about whatever you guys think. I am literally incapable of understanding other people's emotions.
To Philippe, it's just like, man, this could be like the biggest investigation of my life. I don't want to, pass this up.
So I'd say normally you would use, you'd basically be able to make a knowledge check with a circumstance bonus. And that's pretty much going to be your check for doing this research. So you're looking, let's see, so Amber's looking specifically at stuff about Desna and Kirkonis, right? And about like you're looking,
Yeah.
is there any particular question you're trying to find, or are you just trying to look for general information?
I'm trying to find specific things about what Carconis's like following was like, and
Okay, like
if
what his
there are
priesthood
any
was like.
mentions of specific powerful devices related to him.
Okay. What about Philippe? Are you doing along the same lines, or are you trying to approach the problem from another perspective, maybe?
I think we probably talked a little bit about what we're looking for, and I'll be mostly along the same lines, only maybe a little bit more emphasis in ancient deities in general, and less specific to Desna, like relating between Desna and Carcanis. Also, if there's anything about Deklau Sar, I'll definitely be looking for that too.
Okay. So we'll go with some knowledge religion rolls for the two of you then. And then while you guys were doing your research, one of the dwarves in the library probably would come up to Aelios and like ask if they can help him. He's just like standing there.
Is that a dwarven they're asking that?
No, he asks you in common.
No, I'm just here with my friends. They're trying to learn.
Oh, it's a noble pursuit. Perhaps you would like to also seek some answers. We can help you.
I'll say. Oh, never mind. You go.
Amber snorts a little
I
bit
defer
when
the
she
answer
hears
to
that.
Philippe.
I'll pipe up and I'll say, perhaps you can help him learn more about the markings on his skin. Do you have anything about the history of his people?
We probably do have something about the Shawandi people.
Alias here is not a book person, so he may require much aid, and it's much appreciated. I will be sure to, thank you guys with a kind offering. Yeah.
So he goes and brings out like a general book about Shawanti culture. And it's like I wasn't really sure, but let me know uh, let me know if you want something else other than like something different than this. If there's anything in here that maybe uh, points you in another direction. And yeah, it's kind of just like a basic book about the history of the Shawanti people and um, how they interacted with the early Thessalonian Empire.
Does Alias know how to
So
read?
I'm pretty sure he does.
Yeah. I mean,
Checking.
his culture is pretty out there, but they're not animals.
I know in
Pathfinder doesn't have the same rules on barbarians as 3.5 did, where they had to be illiterate.
I remember that in 3rd edition, they had barbarians were illiterate. Like that was actually a
Pretty
thing.
good.
You had to take a skill point or something in linguistics to become literate.
No, you had to
They
take 2 ranks in Learn Language, because Learn Language wasn't any class skill.
Yeah,
And if it wasn't a class
it was
skill, you had to
cross-class.
spend 2 skill points.
Cross-classing worked differently than it does in Pathfinder. Yeah, it was much rougher.
But anyway.
So yeah, a knowledge religion roll with a. Just give me a knowledge religion roll, and I'll add the circumstance bonus in myself, I guess.
I already did. That was my most recent roll.
Okay.
About the same.
So Amber, let's see. I'm gonna say what Amber finds out is you eventually find a tale about how supposedly the stars did not always exist, and that Desna created the stars herself. But they were based on tales that she heard from Carconis and things that he saw in his travels. It's postulated in this that at least this was like a story from Oslant times that basically the stars that we see were based off of sights that he saw traveling in other planes, in particular parts in the astral plane. Maybe Amber tells you. And let's see, what else can I give you guys? Philippe got like a really basically the same role.
Yeah, maybe I
He
find
was
something about
focused more on
Deklar
Deklar though.
or
Yep.
other ancient gods, deities that have to do with Carconis, perhaps.
I don't remember if you already knew this or not, but the way Lamashtu, of course, killed Carconis and stole the beast domain from him.
Yep.
And you knew that part.
Took his
Though
skin or
how
whatever.
and then took his husk and created Deklar Sar. Now the way that Lamashtu killed him was actually by tricking him, by pretending to be one of the. Oh, what is going on? Oh shit! My monitor just turned off for some reason. I don't know why.
Did you kick
We
the
can
power
see.
Mine
cord
does
again?
that occasionally.
I don't know.
Okay, that's fucking weird. It's like cycling through all the different things. So it's showing HDMI 1, 2,
Loose
VGA,
cable, perhaps.
maybe. Okay, it just turned back on. So I don't know what the fuck that was about, but it's working again. I didn't even do anything, really. Okay, fuck, now I lost where I was at there. Okay, so yeah. You find out that, that Lamashtu pretended to be one of one of his followers, like one of the other gods that used to look up to him, kind of along the lines of Desna. Perhaps he even pretended to be Desna and lured him into a trap and that is how she killed him. She lured him in. She lured him away from his domain. Why is it? What the fuck is it doing? God damn it! I don't want to deal with this shit right now.
Well, if Philippe tells that to Amber, she'll probably be like, "Oh shit, maybe we were just tricked by a follower of Lamashtu and Deklausar into being a follower of Desna, and he's going to lead us into a trap."
Yes, perhaps.
We are meeting him tomorrow, though. That's true.
Could a follower of Deklausar hold a holy symbol of Desna and it not burn? How do we
Not
know if he
normally.
is truly a follower of Desna and not an imposter?
Um, so I want to ask after we get this information, I want to ask a different question. I've heard of deities being killed. Is there any talk of deities being revived?
Sorry, I'll get back to you in a second. I'm trying to fucking get my monitor to turn back on. I literally
Okay.
am
Oh,
blind right
okay.
now. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my sound's still working. What the? This is frustrating as hell. I can't. I don't want my monitor to be dead already. I just bought this like a year ago. Well, it definitely isn't that,
You could
because
also
I'm just
try a
running.
different HDMI cable.
That's what I just did, and it didn't. It's not even like flashing or anything now. It's just not doing anything.
It's most likely your video card. You could try restarting
I'm
your
gonna restart my
computer.
computer and see if that does it, I guess. So I'll be back. So break time while I restart my
Yeah.
computer.
Alright.
Okay.
So Philippe is not really able to find much about how a god dies, um, but just that it does happen and that the results often can be very like they sometimes can be very kind of earth-shattering, I guess.
Catastrophic.
Most recently, you would know about the death of the god Erodin, who was most like a lot of his followers moved on to worshiping his disciple Iomade, but you're not able to find anything about that. Let's see. As for what Amber finds, Yeah, Amber also does not really find anything about gods coming back from the dead, but does know about has heard about like gods finding out about their own like finding out about their own death and trying to change it. What you learn is interestingly enough, there is a god, the god of death, um, in is Pharasma, right? It's the Lady
Okay.
of Graves, and she's also the god of she's the god of death, but also like the god of prophecy and fate and birth. So she's like a god of like death and life, and it's
Yeah.
like a neutral god, kind of like a balanced god.
Is it a TN god? True neutral by TN.
Yes, yes. I was thinking, like men, like the
TN
race of
shop.
Galarian. Yeah, I'm like, no, no, not exactly, but it's a core
I
deity, like
meant
a
the
major deity.
true neutral.
Yeah.
Okay.
But one thing you do know, like that's the thing, most deities, like Pharasma normally sees most deities die, and like before it happens, and
Right.
many deities have tried to uh, like alter things, but nobody's uh, known of any situation where that has been like anyone that's been successful at doing that, and that fraud they end up passing through. It's supposedly they've passed through Pharasma's realm just as mortals would,
I see. That's
and
interesting.
that
Um.
it is speculated that perhaps dead deities end up um, in her boneyard in the outer sphere, which is located basically it's located in a impossibly tall mountain within the astral plane, like at the top of it. It kind of like it sits atop the astral plane, kind of, if that makes sense. In as much a sense as it can within the astral plane, which there's not as much of a sense of direction in the astral plane.
Right. And I have one last question to ask after we've gotten through all of this information. And that's, not that it'll apply to us, how I've heard of mortals becoming gods. How does that happen?
Okay. Then I guess that'll be an. You already rolled it. So the most well-known way is the test of the Starstone, which
Okay.
is how, for example, Iomedae and Caden Colleen did. However, there are other ways, and those ways tend to vary in many different ways. For example, what's his name? There's one god that was it Nethes? It might have been Nethes. Let me double check. There's one that basically, yeah, Nethes gained his divinity by basically um, seeing too much. He lost his mind, but at the same time became a god. Um, and there's other ways where some people, and Nephis, I guess is how you pronounce it actually. But yeah, that's the most well-known way from recently for how mortals have become gods. But there are other varied ways.
With my crappy wisdom as it is now, I will say to the party that if we get stronger, we might be able to complete this trial of the Starstone, and then we can perhaps defeat the Klausar.
He tried to kill us with that assassin.
Yeah, you were.
Oh, were you not? I think you were.
No, you were
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
I was on the
you were.
boat.
On the ship
I was on the boat.
with the poison. Yeah, that guy on the boat that tried to poison us, he was a servant of
His
Deck
minions have
Kalsar.
already tried to kill us. Okay, I am done in the library. Does anybody have any other questions they would like to ask?
I know I already asked about like killing a demon or a deity. Is there anything about like defending against one that I could do, or is that too closely related?
I get. You need to be like you would find really easily things like most demons you need to have a cold iron weapon. Stronger ones you would need to have a weapon aligned to good as well.
Okay, that's helpful
Um,
for me.
and then you'd also know they resist a lot of different elemental damages such as fire and acid.
Okay.
So I guess that's one thing. If you think like in that maybe something you could have already countered. You've fought some demons before, but yeah,
That's true.
maybe as a thing that it does. You're reminded, I guess, that if you do encounter more demons, cold iron weapons will probably be necessary.
Is there? Could I do a roll to see if I know if I can find like a specific weakness of Deklausar, or is that just like too crazy to find in like a book here?
You could certainly try, but I will say from what the stuff you've looked at so far hasn't mentioned anything like that.
All right, 21. And that's the last thing for me.
Yeah, and you don't find anything specifically about in this library at least that sounds like a weakness for him.
Okay, cool.
However, as you guys are leaving, um, the librarian maybe will mention that um, perhaps if you didn't find everything you were looking for, perhaps you could check a library in Kaer Maga.
Okay, real quick, did Alias find anything in his book?
His would have just been pretty general knowledge of Shawanti, like about like
Okay,
their customs and stuff. So it'd be stuff he probably maybe knows about anyway, but it'd be about how like most Shawanti are nomadic and you talk about how the Shawanti and the Varisians were here before, have been here since before the Thessalonian Empire. Before basically people came from Aslan and created the Thessalonian Empire and kind of like took over the region. But the Shawanti and the Varisians have been here since longer than that.
What was that trial called? The Starstone trial or something? Trial of the Starstone?
And it's located in Absalom, which is basically an island in the middle of the inner sea. Basically, this little sea between the two continents. So yeah, and of course, it's it's effectively it's like being in the middle of the Mediterranean. And if you looked at
Well,
it,
if we end up going like I don't know 5 years with this adventure homebrew, maybe we'll end up doing that someday.
like if you guys really wanted to, I'd have to homebrew it all because as much as people have asked for it, there isn't. I don't think there's an official Starstone module. For the Starstone? But you don't actually go to it. Mm. Shattered Star is like more like a sequel to Rise of the Rune Lords. Actually, like it's about Rune Lords. Hmm. I just know that there isn't actually like a official Paizo dungeon yet for the Starstone, which is a lot of people have been asking. We're like, why can't we do the Starstone challenge? So it's probably something I'd have to homebrew, I think. Yeah. They do have some for like demigods though. But yeah, not like the core deities. Like you can go fight like an Imperial Lord or something, or a Demon Lord, but you can't go fight you can't go
Lamashtu.
fight Desna. You can't go fight Lamashtu. Yep. You can probably base it off a 3rd edition God stat block or something. Just like, oh, if I go
5
find,
billion health.
I'll go find the stat block for Kelemvor or something, and be like, all right, I'm gonna use this for
Yeah,
Pharasma.
those stat blocks get kind of fucking ridiculous, but it's kind of fun anyway.
I do, or I don't know if I still have it saved, but I found someone's homebrew rules for epic levels converted it over for Pathfinder. Because there's no
Oh.
official epic levels in Pathfinder, and they have mythic levels, I guess. That's the other option too. You get to level 20, and then it's like, oh, you want to keep getting stronger, so we'll add mythic levels now. But of course, mythics are separate, and you can do mythic levels. Like you can be level 1, and then be like, here's mythic level 1 too. Like they're separate. It's a separate like
Yeah, it's a separate
advancement
class.
track. Yeah.
Okay, so are we leaving the temple? Are we doing more? Or you want to figure out your computer stuff? What's the plan?
I kind of want to figure out my computer stuff, but we'll do a little bit more.
There's some stuff that we want to wrap up, perhaps with the Priest of Desna. Should we do that in 2 weeks, or should we do that now?
I could just leave you guys on a cliffhanger.
Whatever you want.
We'll
Yeah.
do that in the next session, I think. We'll start with that. I know it's a short session, but I do kind of want to try to figure out my computer stuff too.
That's understandable. It was still fun.